Hi everyone, welcome to the second Dev Talks video. Today we're going to be focused on a highly anticipated item, the Ocarina of Echoes. I don't have a script for this again, I'm just going to kind of talk about the item, go over my thoughts, everything about it, and show some other smaller things towards the end of the video as well, just like last time. So without further ado, here's the Ocarina of Echoes. It is heavily inspired by Ocarina of Time. It's even tuned to the same notes, meaning that you can play any Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask song on the Ocarina of Echoes, but you'll notice that they're not doing anything. Now, the Ocarina of Echoes is capable of playing songs, like this one. It's just that every song that has an effect in Tritale is going to be an original song. And my reasoning for that is I found the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask songs really restrictive when I was trying to adapt them to Hytale, because the games are wildly different. And I want the Ocarina to be something that you can use no matter what context you're in. I don't want it to be something that I have to design environments for in order for you to find use for it. And I also don't want it to be something that you pick up and because you've played Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, you suddenly have all of these options at your fingertips. I also don't want it to be something that you pick up and because you haven't played Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, you're stuck scrounging or looking up guides on the internet to figure out what you can even do with the Ocarina. So I want to put everyone sort of on the same page. It's part of the idea. But the other thing is that by making my own songs, I have so much more freedom with what they're able to do, and am able to sort of expand on the idea of the Ocarina as a playable instrument across the games, instead of forcing myself into the same design principles and philosophies that Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask followed. Anyways, let's get into the songs. So, you heard it before, but we can play any... We can just play notes. And you'll notice in third person, the notes look a little bit different. That is just so that it looks nice when you're playing it in third person, so your friends can see you just kind of like aura farming in the corner or whatever you want to do. And in first person, you can see that the notes are color-coded and they're also notated. I did my best to make this colorblind friendly. I really hope it worked. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do to make this easier to read if you do have any sort of color blindness. There are going to be some similar shades, but you can see very clearly there are like actual note indicators on there, so I'm hoping that helps. And yeah, the real reason for the note indicators is so that you actually know what you're playing. The keys right now are bound to your signature, your primary, your secondary, and then ability 1 and ability 2, which translates to Q, E, R, left click, and right click respectively. So they are in ascending order from the left to the right of your keyboard. Right? If you play 6 notes, and they're the right 6 notes, you'll trigger a song effect. And so let's get into that now. This is the Aria of Echoes. This is a song that dispels illusions. And before I get into it, now that you have seen this video, you are also going to learn the Aria of Echoes through this video. There is no gate that's stopping you from just learning this song by watching this video. You don't need this sheet music item in order to, trigger a thing that then lets you play the song. You could pick up the Ocarina of Echoes and just start hitting keys and hoping you're playing songs, and they would work if you did successfully play one. The challenge is, you have no idea what those songs do. And to me, that's really fun. And the other thing is that this system allows you to teach other players cool songs. So if you find a song and you want to teach your friends, you don't have to give them this item or anything like that. You can keep it on you. You can do whatever you want to do with it. You can just teach them the button inputs and they'll be able to play the song as well. Anyways, these song sheets fit into the hero's pouch, just like so. The notation on them is actually accurate, so you can see this is an A, this is a low D, an A, a high D, an A, and a high D. If I were to input that button combo, the Ocarina of Echoes would activate that song. But there's a much better way to learn that, because not everybody knows sheet music notation, and it's also not real sheet music notation at all. But if I were to right-click with this, you can hear the song, and you can also see the notes. So you could see A, D, A, D, A, D. And so if I were to play that, there we go. That was a successful song. That was the Aria of Echoes. Nothing happened. There's a reason for that. There were no illusions nearby. But this wall is kind of suspicious, and if you listen really closely, you can kind of hear there's something strange. That's your cue for an illusion. Very faint, especially if there's music playing, but it is there. This is a passable illusion, so we can walk right through it even without the Aria of Echoes. But if we didn't know it was here, we could play the Aria of Echoes and reveal it. Now, this is another thing that the Ocarina can do. This has nothing to do with songs. This is my excuse to let you play any of the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask songs as you see fit. Because this is a song door. This door will only open if you play any combination of 6 notes. If you don't know any of the songs, you can just mash the same note 6 times. I could literally just walk up to the door and go, and it would open the door. Or I could play Zelda's Lullaby, and it would open the door. You have to be looking at the door to open it, but the point is, I can do whatever I want here. I can choose my favorite Zelda song to play. I could just come up with one on the spot. In this case, I am going to open the door with Saria's song. And there it opens. And so in this room, there's a locked door there, and we can use the Aria of Echoes to help us reach that chest up there. You can probably hear it. It's very slight, but there is that sort of tinkly noise that that hints at an illusion. So if we were to play the Aria of Echoes now, it also reveals invisible things. So this guy right here just got revealed by the Aria of Echoes. These solid blocks, which we can stand on, also got revealed. And so now we can pick up the small key, stick it into the door, and be on our way. And yeah, that is the Ocarina of Echoes. Alright, these are just going to be my closing thoughts. I've only shown one of the 3 available songs as of making this video because I don't want to spoil the other 2. The other 2 are honestly more interesting in my opinion. I'm really excited about them, and so I don't want to just give them to you right out the gates. But the other reason is that there's a lot of things that are still subject to change right now with the Ocarina of Echoes. Most notably, note configuration. I may be switching around the notes of certain songs or just changing how they sound in general because I'm working on figuring out if I can add the full versions of the songs when you finish playing them. It's just a matter of striking a balance between, do I want these songs to be snappy and fast because you're playing Hytale and not Ocarina of Time and time doesn't pause when you pull the ocarina out, or do I want them to be slow and more impactful for game feel? So I'm trying to find some balance there. I might make it a toggleable thing, but we'll see. So just before you make any snap judgments or anything like that, know that what you're going to get in the Fair and Manor update might be slightly different than what you see here today. And in terms of the Fair and Manor, I am about ready to start building, and so I would say that this update is officially at its halfway point. Mechanically, it is very sound, it's complete, and so I'm hoping to have the Fair and Manor all constructed and ready to go in a few weeks. This is a huge update. This has been a massive undertaking to figure out, so I do apologize that it has been a while since another big content update, but I am working very hard on making sure that this is quality and up to snuff with everything else. And I hope it shows. And with that, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for making it to the end of the video, and I will see you later.